Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Should I Read That? I'm John. This is episode 15. Today is the book Tribes by Seth Godin. This book is phenomenal. There's a lot of things in here that I agree with, and the content of this book is fantastic. I encourage you to read it. Seth Godin, as an author and speaker, he has over 17 or 18, something like that, New York Times best-selling books. I encourage you to go check out a lot of his interviews and articles that he's written. He brings people's ideas about marketing and human interaction to the next level. At the same time, he has a worldview that I don't necessarily agree with. That's what I want to talk about in the second half of this video. We'll talk about assumptions. First of all, though, the idea of tribes. Actually, prelude to that, when you read a book, this is an extra. When you read a book, it becomes part of your psyche, and it becomes part of, let's just call it the tapestry of your life, and it comes into your life in a time and place and your mindset when you were reading it. So here's a great example. This book here, Tribes, I had some things I was going to talk about, and I wanted to talk about it. I finished the book a couple days ago. The last 2 days, I've been at a conference with pro-life apologist Scott Klusendorf. And my perception of this book changed because what we talked about with Scott. He challenged everyone to watch your assumptions and listen for the assumptions that other people make. And I looked back on this book, and there are assumptions that people make all the time about whether or not they can lead, or they should lead, or even if they should follow the rules. And that's might be even the underlying theme of this book that I didn't realize before that. As well, Seth Godin, I mentioned a minute ago that he has a worldview that I don't necessarily agree with. There are several times in this book where he assumes things about the world that I do not agree with. So there are some things in here I don't agree with, but the overall concept I think could fit into the Christian worldview in a fantastic way. And I am a Christian, so that's the way I view this book. Great topic, great book. I encourage you to read it. Just be aware some of those assumptions are in there. So first of all, what is a tribe? A tribe is a group of people that are that coalesce around a shared idea, an interest, a passion, a mission, and they have someone who has facilitated that. We call that a tribe leader, and you are able to lead a tribe. You might not feel like it, but you are able to lead a tribe because of the landscape that we are in. The internet has afforded everyone the opportunity to connect and communicate as much as they want or as little as they want with others in that same, it's starting to rain, that same interest. And I'd encourage you to exercise that opportunity. Seth Godin on page 96 says most people have been subjected to what he calls sheepwalking. They are sheepwalkers. And he says, I define sheepwalking as the outcome of hiring people who have been raised to be obedient and giving them brain-dead jobs and enough fear to keep them in line. Enough fear to keep them in line. And people assume, and they are fearful. There's a great chapter in here on fear, about how people are held back by their fear. So I highly encourage you to go check it out. But the thing is, people assume I am not a leader. And that's what I really want to challenge. And people assume, hey, I can't go against the status quo. I can't challenge the rules. Those are the rules, right? If somebody says to you, well, you have to do it this way, those are the rules, what are they assuming? That the rules are the best way to do something, that the status quo doesn't need to be changed. But we've seen in the past number of years, so many things have been innovated, they've been changed, they've been moved to the better because those people took a rational look at things and said, hey, maybe this is the better way to do something. And those people, we call those people leaders. My friend Dr. Jeff Myers, I'll leave you with this. He says, leadership is defined when someone does something even when no one knows what to do. That person took leadership. So I'd encourage you guys to take a look at what you can do, stop sheepwalking, and start leading. Catch you next week for episode 16.